Hey everybody, good evening. Once again, excited to be back. Uh, you know, it's Wednesday, so Wednesday is usually for smart women. Smart Women Wednesday. So if you can hear me, if you can get me, if you can see me clear, please just type out I see you. If you can hear me, just type out I hear you, I see you. I want to make sure that we're having a little bit of some tech issues on our end. So if you're able to hear me, do me a favor, just give me feedback and let me know if you can hear me, you can see me, and let me know what city, what country you guys are joining in from, so that I can know, and I can just send out my love to you guys as you come in today. Let's make wisdom sexy. So let's make wisdom sexy, like I always say. So do me a favor, type it out there, put it across there. What city, what country are you joining in from? What city, what country are you joining in from? Let me know. I want to know what city, what country you guys are joining in from. So we can get started, get going. Hey Kunda, what's happening? Princess, good to see you. I'm glad you can see me and you can hear me. We're having a bit of tech issues. So my guest we were on. Hey, Miss Messi, what's happening? Good to see you. Good to have you. Thank you for joining in. Every one of you guys, I really appreciate you guys coming in. Please do me a favor as you're joining in. As you're joining in, I want you to share. Welcome back.
Hi.
Hi,
See,
welcome. We had a bit of some tech issues before we went live, but I had to go live because StreamYard gives you that time that you must go live. So
okay.
we had to go on. So Miss Sarah, what's happening? Good to see you. Last time we had an amazing show, excellent feedback, and it's good to have you. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. How's the other part of the world?
Um, everything's going okay over here.
Awesome.
It is what it
Awesome.
is.
Awesome. That's great. I'm so excited to have you join once again. So I know before we go get started, I want to say to everyone, please do me a favor. We have a number of people. If you can hear me, type out a one. If you can see me, type out a two. I want to know if you can hear us clear and you can see us. Is our audio good? I know there's a bit of like a wind. I don't know whether it's on my end. Okay, I think it's gone down now. I hope it stays that way. Can you guys hear us? Kenya, good to have Nairobi, Kenya in the house. Africa is in the house. This is beautiful. Please let me know what city you guys are coming in from. Okay, great. You can hear me and see me. I see that. Now, do me a favor. I want you to just share this broadcast so that we spread. This is gonna be powerful. I guarantee you. This is gonna be powerful today, and it's good to see you guys represented from different parts of the world, not just Zambia, but different parts of Africa. So do me a favor, share and invite your friends. And as you're joining in, I want you to tell us your name, what city you guys are coming in from. I'm just doing quick shares on my end. So, hey, I am excited. I mean, Feb is the month of love. People are still in the mood for love, and of course, some people are thinking, what's gonna happen in 2023 Valentine's? Am I still gonna be single? Am I still gonna be the woman without a home? So we're gonna you know why I'm very excited about the masterclass that we're gonna be doing with Sarah is I am so convinced that, I mean, we're gonna give people an opportunity to really set themselves up for healthy relationships, amazing relationship. So if you miss this flight, I mean, it's on you, honestly speaking. And I don't say these things just because I want to say them. We just want to set you up for proper, stand, beautiful relationship. Every time I see people have
Absolutely.
amazing relationship, I am excited. I am happy.
Yeah.
So today we have an interesting conversation. If you didn't know, I'm gonna put our topic just on the screen. So today we're talking about the difference between a god digger and a homemaker. This is gonna be an interesting subject. And one thing is for sure, when I posted this, I know some people were triggered. It's amazing how a lot of people get offended by that gold digger word, but not so many people are saying, I don't care about the gold digger, I'm on the homemaker side. But usually people usually focus on that end. So what are we expecting tonight about this conversation, Miss Sarah? I mean, what is it that we're expecting tonight?
Well, you can expect to know some of the main differences between a woman that is just after a man's money and that really isn't interested in being a homemaker or interested in being a wife or a mother, anything like that, versus a woman that just wants a man's money, that she's really not in it for anything long term. She's very selfish. She does not have pure intentions when it comes to that. She's not really looking for a provider. She's just looking for someone that is just going to spend money on her, you know. So a lot of times men really, I think a lot of men would benefit from this also, because a lot of men get confused when it comes to the differences. A lot of times they will avoid women that actually are homemakers because they think that she's a gold digger, and sometimes they will
Wow.
fall for a gold digger thinking that she's a homemaker. So it really will help differentiate the difference between the two. And there are some ladies who they want to do right, they want to be a homemaker, but they're being
Yeah.
influenced by women that are not homemakers. They don't really have any type of representation of a woman that is a woman that is a housewife or stay-at-home mom or any a woman like that. So they really don't know the difference themselves, even though that's something that they aim to be. They're getting their information from women that are simply gold diggers. So it will help if this is something that women actually want.
Wow. In, that's, I mean, just the intro that you've given out for me, it's like you just spoke all the truth that we're gonna talk about. So I'm curious because I heard you say, so are there women that desire to be homemakers, but they are operating under the God digger mindset?
Yes, there are women that again they want to be homemakers. They want to be housewives, they want to be stay-at-home moms, but they don't have that representation. They don't know what that looks like. They've never heard anyone teach them what it looks like to do that, what the responsibilities are, what it is you're supposed to quote unquote bring to the table in order to have that role. And the only information that they're getting it from women that are just dating, women that don't know anything themselves about being a homemaker. And so they take on this information that leads them to this long life of just dating and dating and dating, never getting the commitment, never getting a man to actually want to settle down with them and provide for them and things like that, because they're just getting the wrong information. They're getting information from gold diggers. And so they want it, but they're not understanding what they're doing wrong. So hopefully this can help them understand the differences in between the two so that they can get it right and get what they want if they actually do want to be a homemaker.
Wow, that's strange. I'm kind of opposite. Usually, most of the time, we always feel like God diggers are just God diggers, and homemakers are homemakers, because that's usually the mindset that we usually have, because I mean, when I heard you, speak about that, I was like, oh, okay, so some women don't know, if they knew, they would definitely do better.
Yeah, some women have absolutely no idea. They really are just being influenced by people that don't have pure intent. Um, and those are the loudest ones. The gold diggers tend to be the loudest ones that make the most noise on social media. And so, they tend to get the most traction. And so that is what people are seeing. And these women are like, oh, okay, well, I want to live a life that's lavish and things like that. But social media is just a highlight round. They don't see like behind the scenes. These women are not protected. These women do not have any type of real commitment. These women they're oftentimes not really happy. They can just jump from relationship to relationship to relationship. Um, so they're just being influenced by the wrong people. That's all. Some of them they do want that. Some of them, of course, they do want to be gold diggers, but a lot of them do actually want to have that home. They want that strong family structure. They want that security and that stability, but they don't know how to get it because they're taking on certain traits and characteristics of women with gold digger mentality.
Wow. So this is gonna be interesting, guys. Good to see all of you guys joining in. I see you guys joining in. Please do me a favor. I want you to share. I want you to invite people, and be part of this conversation. So let's make it amazing, because I believe this is gonna set you up. I mean, already I'm learning. I mean, because I never looked at it from that perspective. We always feel like a god digger is just a god digger. They just want to be that. But with what you said, I think it's really mind blowing, because I think it helps a lot of people get involved and really say, okay, I want to take charge of my life and do what is better. you know uh and the first question I'm going to ask, I think, before we go into details is, then why, if there's a category for gold diggers and homemakers, so why do most women, if not all women, feel like they're entitled to a home, when we've got those two spaces of a gold digger and a homemaker? Why do most women feel entitled to having a home, and having a marriage?
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you hear me? I feel like I'm frozen on this end. Am I frozen? Can you hear and see me okay?
I can actually hear you. I can see you.
You can't hear and see me? Okay, it's frozen on my end. I'm
Yeah,
not sure why.
yeah.
It was breaking up pretty badly. Can you please repeat the question? I'm sorry.
So, so if we've got two categories of a gold digger and a homemaker, why do most women feel like they deserve a home?
Why do they feel they deserve a home? It's innate
Yeah,
within a woman, especially when she reaches a certain age. It's
yeah,
within us, especially as our estrogen levels rise and things. You want to be that caregiver. You want to be more nurturing. You want to have that connection with people. You want to be a mother, or you want to be a wife. It's just part of us. It's innate within us. A lot of times when we're younger, a lot of times they are misled, or they try to somebody teaches them that they should focus only their career or something like that. But then as they
yeah.
get older, they desire these things. This is what they want. That is why a lot of women, once they reach a certain age, then they start getting really frustrated and kind of desperate for marriage and for a man, because now the things that they want, which is the home, they're afraid that they'll never get it because they're older at this point. And so it's just something that's within a lot of women. It's not why they desire it. It's just part of a woman, once she reaches a certain age, to really just settle down.
Wow, that's really interesting. And
Yeah.
again, when you did your intro, you mentioned something that is key, that this is going to benefit a lot of men. And you made a statement that is very interesting. You said a lot of men miss out on homemakers.
Yeah.
Uh, how does that? Please tell me if I'm going ahead of you. But I mean, I was intrigued when you made that statement. How does that work out? How does it happen?
Well, again, I think a lot of it has to do with what the information that is being told on social media and things like that. A lot of men put it out there that any woman that wants a man to be a provider is a gold digger, and that's not true. Now, there are some women, of course, that have ill intent, but because men have kind of allowed themselves to think that this is the truth, they will pretty much avoid women that want a man that is a provider, because they think, oh, she's just after my money. And they don't realize, no, this is the type of woman that is really going to support you. She's a helpmate. She's a caregiver. She's
Mm,
going to make sure that your house is a home. This is the type of woman that isn't selfish. She doesn't just want to go out on a bunch of dates and vacations. She wants to invest in you. She cares about making sure that the children inherit things. It's so much to it. But because they hear anything about money, the moment a woman says anything about money or finances or provision at all, it just shuts a lot of men out.
I
So
have something. I know it's not question time, but with what you said, there's this statement that says, I hope you can see it. Can you
problems
see it?
have been raised with the mindset that if a woman asks for money, meaning she's a gold digger, but at times the same is used to improve the environment of the house. Absolutely, yes. Absolutely. That is one of the differences. It's the what the gold digger spends the money on versus what a homemaker spends money on. A gold digger is going to use it for selfish reasons. The gold digger is just going to want to do a lot of shopping and just buy things, a lot of material things to pretty much post pictures and kind of brag to the world, this is what I have, or I went on this vacation, or all these luxury things, or just go get her hair and nails done all the time, or just go hang out with her friends or whatever to party. That's what she wants the money for. It's not because she wants to put it back into the home. It's not because she wants to invest it into the children. It's not because she's investing it into businesses with, supporting her husband or her spouse or whatever. It's not to make the house a home. It's none of that. It's simply for selfish reasons. Where the homemaker, she is thinking of everyone in the home. She's thinking of the children. She's thinking of the man. She's thinking of the future. She's making sure, she wants to make sure the bills are paid. She wants to make sure, she wants to make sure that there are meals, that the home isn't lacking anything. That is part of being a homemaker, these duties. And there's going to be money needed for that. That's just part of the vision. Money has always been different types of currency since the beginning of time. Now it's just money, but it might have been cattle at one point in time. It might have been fruits and vegetables at one point in time, just exchanging things for other services or other goods or other things that are just necessities for survival. There have always been some type of exchange for that, but nowadays, since a lot of men, I don't know, a lot of men just either they don't have it, or they have been told that if a woman asks for it, that she's a gold digger. So like they just are kind of just shut off by the entire idea of being a provider at this point. So yeah.
Awesome.
And
But
I
don't you
think that
think,
it would definitely help though if a lot of ladies understood some of the
yeah.
things that they're doing that is making a man think that they're a gold digger, even if that's not what they are.
Wow, that's powerful. That's really powerful.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. Hey guys, I mean, I hope you guys are really getting it. Please share and invite, bring in as many. Linda, good to see you. I don't know why today I was planning to call you. You're one of the reasons why we set up the masterclass, because you said, Coach, I want to be part of this. I want to be part of this event. So you have no choice but to make it this way. And I wanted to call you today. So Linda, you have no choice. Whatever happens, you have to be at Sierra Resort for the masterclass. You are the ones that also asked for it, that you guys wanted something. So we're making it happen for you. You guys don't let your coach down. You ask me for things, I create them, and then you start speaking English. So you guys gotta show up, because I also want to rest. I want to get happy messages in my DMs of happy relationships. I'm tired of getting, he broke my heart, he broke my heart, he makes me cry. No, I am tired. Can 2022 be the year I'm a happy coach? That I'm getting good messages. He's treating me good. I'm becoming a feminine woman. He likes how I'm becoming a homemaker. Please, this is a year I want to see. Is that too much to ask? Is that too much to ask? So, Mr. Let's go straight into the conversation.
All
The
right.
difference between a gold digger and a homemaker. Break it down. What are some of the things that we need to know as men, and what are some of the things that our women, our queens, needs to understand?
Okay. So one of the differences is going to be the standards that a woman has when she's a gold digger versus the type of standards a woman has when she has more of a homemaker mentality. A gold digger standard, she's really just focusing on how much money he makes. She wants to know, I want a man that is successful. I want a man that has, you know, all of these goals. I want a man that makes this much amount a month or a year. Her standards have everything to do with finances.
Mm,
A homemaker's standards, she's not just looking at his pocket. She also wants a man that's going to be a protector. She also wants a man that's going to be mentally stimulated. She wants a man that's going to be able to support her emotionally in other ways. So the standards for a homemaker is a lot different from the gold digger.
yeah.
She actually cares about what the future is going to look like with this man, and not just
Mm,
what it's going to look like currently when it comes to paying bills or things like that. So that is going to be one of the biggest differences. When men listen to them and talk about the standards they have, they need to really pay attention to what these ladies are saying. Is she just saying, I want a man that's successful, I want a man that earns this much money, I want a man that has a lot of goals, or I want a man that's very productive? And all that sounds right. None of it sounds bad at all. But if that's all she's saying, then it's possible that that's all she cares about. You know, if a woman is saying, okay, I want a man that is going to provide guidance in addition to everything else, I want a man that's a leader. I want a man that's a protector. I want a man that knows how to communicate with me. When her standards are about much more than just provision, that lets you know that she is a woman that actually cares about things long term and not a gold digger. Okay. Another difference is that a woman that is a gold digger, she will disrespect you or just treat you differently based on how much money you make. So she won't treat you as well if you don't make as much money. Whereas a woman that's a homemaker, she's going to be respectful in general. She's just a respectful person. A gold digger pretty much has like this radar that lets her know, yes, I should respect this person, or no, I shouldn't respect this person. And it's all based on what he's wearing, the type of shoes he has on, what type of car he's driving. That will let her know whether or not she should respect this man or whether or not she should even talk to him. A homemaker isn't really going to focus on things like that because when you're a homemaker, you have a different mentality. You understand that men that are hardworking men are not always going to be out wearing nice stuff all of the time. Men that are hardworking are not out here trying to impress the world with how much money they have. They're focused on making sure their family is straight, and that's it. Gold diggers focus on like the material things that a man has on and things like that. And so if he doesn't have that on, she's not going to be respectful. If he tries to approach her, she's probably going to look at him like he's dirty or something like that. Whereas a homemaker is going to be much more just kind in general. She's just much more respectful because she recognizes a hardworking man when she sees one. You know, so that is going to be another difference. Just the way they treat men in general. The another difference is the gold digger doesn't really have any type of appreciation for the work that a man does. She does not care about the dedication or the time it takes to put in his work. She doesn't care that, you know, if he has he's eaten for that day. She doesn't care if he's gotten enough rest. She doesn't care to try to support him and take an interest in what he does. She only cares about what comes from his work, which is the money. A homemaker is going to take interest in what her man does. She's going to be interested in what he's interested in. She's going to try to learn what he's learning. She's going to try to, in some way, pour back into him. Even if she isn't learning what he learns, she's going to make sure that he has the energy that he needs to get his work done. I mean, she's going to make sure he's eating. You know, he has the nourishment that he needs. She's going to make sure that he has the rest that he needs. Everything that he needs physically in order to get back out there and work. Whereas the gold digger could care less if he has that. All she cares about is if he has the money. That's it. The homemaker cares about the man's actual well-being.
So the gold digger focuses more on your wallet than they focus on your heart.
Absolutely.
And how you,
she focuses on the money. If he doesn't have the money, she could care less. You know, if he's tired, she doesn't care. If he's happy, she doesn't care if if he has any peace of mind. She could care less about helping him with his work, you know, or supporting him. She doesn't care. She just wants to know that the money is coming. That's it. That's another difference. Yeah.
So it's just like a place where she goes from and then she doesn't make deposits into that man.
I'm sorry.
So she just draws from the man, but she doesn't pour into the man.
Absolutely. She takes and she takes. That's another difference. Whereas the homemaker is going to be a helpmate in multiple ways. She can help him. She might be an assistant with his job. She's going to support him in some way. She's going to be a helpmate. The gold digger, she really doesn't have much to add, much value to add aside from her look and, you know, whatever the intimacy, the relations that they have. That's pretty much all that she brings to the table, the gold digger. She really is not a helpmate in any other way. She doesn't really pour into him in any other way. She doesn't invest in him in any other way. She makes, you know, she just makes sure that she is withdrawal. She's withdrawing from his account. The homemaker deposits into the account, you know. So that's another difference.
A lot of I see a lot, some women, not a lot of women, but I see some women that always say, oh, because I am giving you sex, that's what I bring, because you wouldn't get it. So for me, as long as you get laid, then that's all it matters. I've given you everything you need.
Well, that's why a lot of women end up being left and cheated on, because eventually that's going to lose its value as well. That only is going to be a value but for so long. Eventually a man is going to want more than just your sex. Eventually at some point, men, it's not going to be as big of a deal to them. And once it gets to that point, then what are you going to offer him? How are you going to keep your man then when he doesn't even, if he's not really that pressed by sex? It has to
Yeah.
be, you have to have more to give. So the mentality is important. Your heart is important. Making sure he has peace of mind is important. Being supportive is important. So there is much more to it than just giving a man sex. That is not going to keep a man. That is not going to make a man want to protect you or provide for you. It might make a man want to spend money on you for a short period of time, but men that do that, they will do that for almost any woman that will give them sex. What makes you different from any other woman? What makes you stand out? What makes you more valuable? You have a yoni, she has a yoni, she has a yoni. All of these women can give
Yeah.
you sex. So why do you think that just giving a man sex is going to do anything? It isn't. And that's
So
what the gold digger thinks. The gold digger thinks that her good looks and her sex is what's going to get a man. And in some cases it does, but it really is just temporary. It
so it
doesn't
gets you
really
a
get
man, but it doesn't make you keep a man for long term.
it does not get you commitment from a man. It doesn't get you protection from a man. It doesn't get you real provision from a man. And if it does, again, it's just temporary. It's usually things that aren't like real necessities, like long term. A real provider is going to provide for you long term. A man that is just looking for gold diggers or whatever, he's just willing to just pay for whatever just to keep her happy temporarily until he gets another girl that is younger, more vibrant, that the sex is better with. And then after that, he'll kick you to the curb, you know. But a lot of gold diggers don't understand that. And that is why a lot of women nowadays, they put so much effort into getting all these different types of surgeries and stuff to try to make themselves look like the type of woman that a man wants to spend money on. And a lot of them are, really putting themselves at risk for things because they're just trying to get men to spend money on them, not realizing that it's not just your looks that's going to get you excited. It's not your body. It's not the sex. It's not
Yeah.
just that. And if that is the type of man that you're trying to attract, you might attract that, absolutely. But then don't get upset when you're not protected. Don't get upset when you never
Mm.
get the commitment that you want. Don't get upset when you never get the home or the family or the security or the stability, because you probably won't ever get that if that's the type of man you want. Because men like that aren't looking for that themselves. They're just looking for a good time. They're just looking to show people what type of woman they can get with the money they have. They're just
Wow.
looking for eye candy. They like attention, and so that is what these women do for these men. They just let the world see, yes, I'm eye candy, I can afford this type of woman and things like that. But these men are not focused. They're not marriage minded. They don't care about family or anything like that.
Wow.
So that's the type of men
I,
that
I,
gold
I know
diggers attract.
I'm gonna cut you. I wanted you to flow and let you go, but as you're speaking, a lot of thoughts are just running through my mind,
Okay.
and I'm blown away because I strongly feel that the things that you're sharing are the things that most women must be sitting on the table and have conversations with women like you to be able to teach them and pass on the knowledge. Now, if that wisdom is available, why are women not getting this wisdom that you have, the one you're sharing today? Why? Because if I said, if we change the title of this broadcast to say how to let a man give you money, we would have thousands of people on this broadcast. People will be out here. So why is it that we're not getting women to sit on the table and get this knowledge? Why is it difficult? Is it painful for them to really walk and flow into the mindset of a homemaker?
Um, I think that feminism has contributed a lot to a lot of women's mentality just kind of being tarnished. A lot of women, again, they want a traditional family. They want to be homemakers. They want a provider, but they don't know what to do to get it. And a lot of times they're influenced by celebrities or other people that have a lot of fame, and they are kind of being taught that you can be a gold digger and you can be promiscuous and you can do everything in a modern way and still get the traditional lifestyle. And then they wonder why they're miserable. They're wondering why they can't keep a man. They're wondering why they are having all these issues in their relationship because they're not getting it. They're not getting the information. This type of information is not popular. It's not something that people
But
really
why is that so? Why is that so?
because it takes accountability. This type of information means that a person must be responsible for their actions. This type of information means that someone might have to make some adjustments. You might have to change up some of what you do, the way you behave, the way you speak, the way you dress, the people you hang around. All of that means, a person might have to change some things. And change can be scary for a lot of people, especially when everyone around them is doing something different. And a lot of times people are so focused on trying to fit in and doing what everyone else does, and they're not realizing that everyone else around them is miserable. Everyone else around them is depressed. Everyone else around them is struggling. Everyone else around them doesn't have what they want, but you want to fit in with everyone else so badly that you just end up mimicking what they do, and now you're miserable right along with them. Now you don't have what you want, just like they don't have what they want, you know. And so it really takes accountability and it takes bravery. It says, okay, I want what I want. I'm not going to be misled by these people. And so if you really want it, then you have to do what other people aren't willing to do. A lot of people aren't really willing to do what others aren't doing. They're not willing to cut people off. They're not willing to make certain changes. They're not willing to change the way they speak to men. They're not willing to change the way they dress. They're not willing to do that. And this type of information says, well, you're going to have to make these changes or you're going to be miserable for the rest of your life. And so a lot of women, they just, it's easier to just continue doing what they're doing and then complaining about men and complaining because it's easier to do that. That way they can just point the finger and say, well, it's men's fault that I don't have this, and it's men's fault that, whatever. But there are great men that are providers and protectors, and they'll give you the commitment, but they're not looking for the type of woman that you currently are. So you would have to change some things about yourself to get that type of man. But a lot of them are just not willing to do it. And so this information isn't popular because A, it requires a person to be accountable, responsible, do the self work. And also, this type of information really does, how can I say this? It's not a money making information, if that makes sense. When the other type of information, when you go out there and you say, oh, be a gold digger and things like that, people spend a lot of money on what it takes to be a gold digger. So if being a gold digger means you have to spend a lot of money on getting surgery, if it means spending a lot of money on weave and nails and makeup, if it means spending a lot of money on vacations and spending a lot of money on, all of these things, that is material things, that brings out a lot of money to these big corporations. It brings out a lot of money to celebrities and things like that. And so it's a marketing thing. It really is good marketing to promote gold diggers because a lot of corporations make money from that. It's not a money making thing. Corporations don't make good money by telling women to be homemakers. It actually supports the men of the home more than it does like other businesses, if that makes sense. And so there's a lot that goes into it. Also, a strong family structure is threatening to a lot of people, and this information does promote strong family structures. And so that's not something that a lot of people they'll put filters on any type of information nowadays that support strong family structures.
Wow, that's very powerful. And you mentioned that this type of information, what we're sharing tonight, helps support strong family structures. And what does it look like? What does it look like? What does it do for people that embrace this information and take it in their families? How does it really change the game for those families that take in, whether it's a woman that decides this is what I'm gonna do, and the man that decides personal, I mean, if a man decides I'm going to marry this a homemaker and I will not waste my life with gold diggers out there, how does it change? What are the benefits it brings to a family structure when people decide to embrace this information?
Well, a man that his finances aren't being wasted on frivolous things and things that it doesn't make any difference on a bunch of dates and meaningless vacations and things like that. He can really invest into his future. His children can have things to inherit. If generational wealth is something that's important to you, that is something that you can obtain with a
Powerful.
woman that has a homemaker mentality. Just having financial freedom in general, rather than just having money temporarily and things like that. Um, being being a gold digger, being with a woman that is a gold digger, it supports spending money outside of your community also. Whereas being a
Wow.
homemaker really promotes keeping your money in the community, you know. And so that is something that is also really important when it comes to the differences between the two. But yeah, a man also, he just doesn't, no man really wants to waste his time spending a bunch of money trying to impress women that are never going to be happy, because the gold diggers are never going to be happy.
Mm,
They're always going to want more. Whatever they see somebody else with, they're going to want what they have. Whereas a homemaker, she just wants a home. She just wants to make sure her family is straight. That's it. And so it really does
wow.
help. It takes a lot of stress, a lot of pressure off of a man, where he doesn't feel like he's having to compete and keep up with the Jones or the Kardashians or whatever it is. He doesn't feel like he has to compete with that. All he has to do is just make sure his family is straight. So it
Wow.
takes pressure and stress off of him.
Wow, this is really powerful. Believe me. I mean, I'm excited about these gems that you're dropping, today. This is really powerful. And I'm looking at the comments and I'm thinking, where are the men? Because this is the info that a lot of men, because I'll tell you, I guess one of the reasons I'm not famous in my country is because I tell people I have no time to waste with gold diggers. I mean, I'm too busy to be spreading myself out there and just be in every woman's laps. It doesn't take me anywhere as a man, because and I see how productive I've become, how much I am building what I'm supposed to do. So and one of the things I've said is I am gonna make marrying women that are homemakers sexy again, because I
That's
think a
right.
lot of us, a lot of us men just go and waste and just go and fund these chicks that are just, they don't bring any value. So all she is just a screensaver. You have a girl you just show on your phone, but there's nothing she brings to your table. We need to go out and get the right women. They may not be out, man, they may not be out there, doing what looking like they're selling their bodies and all of that stuff, you know, but they'll build you a home. So I hope the men are listening. I know men listen in the background, they don't comment, they don't say anything, but I know you're going to watch this. This is going to help you, because you're going to grow your community. You're going to invest in the woman that you love. You're going to provide for the woman that you love. Because if you go out there, you're destroying your family and your future. And you said something powerful, your legacy. It's about legacy. It's about building for the future. So I mean, I'm glad you really poured out to that. I hope you guys are listening and taking in this wisdom. If you're men out here, I hope you're saying, where are the men? I'm only saying these beautiful women. Where are the men? Where are the men? I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I'm seeing all the beautiful women putting up all of these things. I
Yeah,
know we
legacy is very important, and keeping a man's name alive is very important. And also, a homemaker is really going to adopt a man's principles and values and instill them
mm,
into his children. And so that will help keep his legacy alive. Where a gold digger, a lot of times she's not really even family oriented. Oftentimes, gold diggers don't really
wow.
want children unless it means she's going to get child support or something. That's the only time she really cares about it. But a homemaker is definitely going to help keep a man's name alive, and she takes value in that and instilling certain principles into her children that came from her spouse, her man, her husband in the first place. So yeah, that is definitely going to be important with that as well, and that is something that a lot of men do care about: their legacy, their last name, making sure that their memory lives on, the things that they work hard for lives on. A gold digger kid will destroy that overnight. A homemaker will keep that going because she's going to make sure that whatever you're doing lives on through your children.
Wow, awesome. This is funny. I have one gentleman, Evarista says, I'm here listening, coach. And and there's a lady who makes a comment. This is interesting. Says, finally a man in the house.
Yes.
I have a lot of work to do with the men. I got a lot of work to do with the men. You know, I plead guilty, ladies. I got a lot of work. You know, this is so funny. I know we only have maybe 10 minutes to be able to wind up.
Okay.
Maybe I can, maybe I could give you maybe 3 minutes to just go over some of the key things, and then we can just go through some questions. So guys, if you have any questions, I know I already have some questions here and some comments. So we're gonna go through some of the comments that you're setting up, but I'm just gonna allow a beautiful sis to just drop some key things that she wants us to take away. And of course I have another question. When you were speaking, I'm thinking this is such rich information. Where do you think these things should be taught so that as women are growing up, they can pick these lessons that you're dropping and you're sharing?
So where should it be taught?
Yeah.
It should be taught everywhere. I think these are things, these are life skills. It's important. These things, I honestly feel like they should be taught in schools. They definitely should be taught in college and online and things like that. That's why, I make sure that I have courses and things out there for ladies that want this type of information. But I think that it should start as early as school, especially like high school, because they teach sex education in school. So I feel like they should also teach life skills when it comes to a role of a woman that wants to be a wife or a mother or homemaker, because these are things that a lot of people, they just don't know. They're never taught this. A lot of times ladies don't know these things until they're in their 30s, 40s. And then by then, I'm not saying it's too late, but by then it's a challenge for women.
Is it too late? Honestly, just be honest.
It's not always too late. No, honestly, because I have
Yeah.
clients. I have a client that is in her 40s that literally just got married a couple weeks ago. I have two actually in their 40s that just got married not too long ago.
But someone can get married and still not have this wisdom.
Well, they're my clients, so I was coaching them, so they got the wisdom.
Okay.
Yeah, so they got the wisdom.
So if they're not your client, so they're getting married by default, and they're gonna spread the dysfunction to their children.
Right. Yeah. So, it's not too late if the ladies learn and they're actually willing to put in the work to grow and do what they need to do in order to get what they want. But unfortunately, a lot of ladies, they never learn it. And by the time they do learn it, some of them are just so stuck in their ways that they don't want to change. And so it does make it a little bit more challenging for them. So I feel like it should be taught everywhere, because I do think that a family structure, a solid family structure, is very important. And gold digging is really not something that's going to be beneficial to the community. It's not good for women or men, because it really just leaves women, it really leaves women feeling like they're nothing more than their body. And that's not real confidence. That's not you really having true value, because you'll never be confident. As you get older, you'll feel worse and worse about yourself because you feel like your value is going down when there's so much more a woman has to offer, but a gold digger does not realize that. And so that is something that's going to be, that's something that I think a lot of people need to learn as well.
Awesome. Wow. So what are you can drop for us?
I'm sorry?
What are some of the final tips you can drop for us before we go to the questions?
Another thing that I think a lot of men, once they do watch this, they need to know that a gold digger will leave you if you fall on hard times. Whereas a homemaker, she will support you. She will stick it out for you. She's going to do what she can to try to make sure. She's going to encourage you, uplift you, try to get you back out there and things like that. So that is another way that it benefits men to know that a homemaker is going to be much more loyal. A gold digger really is, she has her eye open for other men. She's always trying to appeal to other men.
The highest bidder.
Yeah, there's a certain level of power that a lot of women feel when they know that they can get a lot of money and resources from a man simply based off the way she looks or based off of sex. And so some women will get addicted to that feeling of power. And so they'll keep trying to get it from men, even once they're in a relationship. So a gold digger will always try to appeal to other men, always try to get attention from other men. Whereas a homemaker saves her sack seed for home. She might look good, she might put effort into her appearance, but there are certain things that no man is going to see but her husband, her man. She's going
Wow.
to keep certain things sacred and private. Whereas gold digger, she puts it out there for everyone because she wants to get it from any man that will give it to her.
Who
And so
wants a
that's
woman like
another
that?
thing.
Who wants a woman like that?
You'd be surprised. That's the thing, though. Gold diggers wouldn't exist if men weren't doing it. You know what I mean? Gold diggers wouldn't exist if men
Facts.
weren't putting the money out there. You know what I mean? So that has
Facts.
to. Yeah, so some men are gonna have to take accountability on their part too for that because if they weren't doing it, if they weren't, I don't even know why men do that because it really is nothing valuable about that. But yeah, so that is something else. That is something that needs to happen. I think that women really need to learn more about femininity and be able to embody that feminine role so that they can have real fulfillment in life and they can have their needs met. When it comes to being in your feminine, you feel more safe, you feel more secure, you have stability, you have commitment, you have validation, you have the provision, you have all of that. Um, when you're a gold digger, you just get dates and money, and that's it. And that is temporary. Once your look starts to fade, then you won't get that anymore. Whereas the homemaker, your looks can fade and you're still gonna be good. You're still gonna have the security. You're still gonna have that stability. It's still gonna be there. But a lot of women are just gonna have to find more value in being a homemaker. Right now, they're being influenced by women that could care less. And they have to understand that these women that are influencing them, a lot of times it's paying their bills to mislead these women. You know, these women are like, okay, well, if I can teach you how to try to look like me and how to trick men and things like that, it gets these women a lot of attention and things like that. So as long as these women are getting what they want, they could care less about how it's really affecting the lives of the women that they're influencing. But it is really playing a huge role in because depression is through the roof nowadays. A lot of women are stressed. They have a lot of anxiety. They're dealing with all of these problems, and a lot of it has to do with because they just don't feel like they bring enough to the table. They don't know what they're supposed to bring to the table, and they think that if they just give good looks and sex, that's going to be enough to get them a good man, and it simply isn't. That's wrong. So,
This is really powerful. I'm gonna ask. We're doing the master class this weekend. We're
mhm.
doing the master class this weekend. But after the master class, we are doing a 4 hours
Yeah.
course for women. I'm out of curiosity and desire. I just want to know. Is there a space in the class that you're gonna do the one we're gonna do after the master class? Is there a space for you to be able to do like a session on becoming a homemaker? Is there a possibility in that class? I know you've already set up what you're gonna do because I strongly feel this is the information that a lot of women really need. I don't know whether is it part of the class we're gonna do after the master class.
I can add it into the course, yeah.
Honestly
Yeah, because
speaking,
there are certain feminine traits that make a woman a good homemaker anyway. And so we're going to go over how to embody feminine traits. I don't like to just keep talking about it. I like to tell people what they can actually do to help
that's
them really
powerful.
fully embody it because I don't want women to walk around pretending to be feminine because that's what ends up happening. A lot of women hear people say, "Oh, be more feminine, be more submissive, be more nurturing," and so then women like pretend to be that way, but then it doesn't really stick because they never truly embody these traits, these qualities. And so that's what the course is going to be, how to really embody it. And so, yeah, we're going to talk about different things that are going to naturally make you a better homemaker anyway. So that's going to be part of it anyway. But yeah, so we'll do that in the course.
Awesome. Awesome. So, guys, if you are not going to be part of the master class on Saturday, and then the class that will come weeks after the master class, we're gonna do a 4 hours class. That's just gonna be very powerful, so I want you to really make sure you register. So we are on, I think you saw the ad that we put up, but maybe before I go to the masterclass, I'm just going to go through some of your comments. I know we only have 5 minutes.
Okay.
Wow, it's quite a lot of these. Let me see, I think we read through, uh let me see this one. So depression and desperation comes in at a certain age because of fear of not having a home and family, peer pressure, I would call it.
Yes, a lot of women absolutely become more depressed and more desperate once they reach a certain age because they are afraid that they're not going to get that man, they're not going to get that home, they're not going to get that security or that commitment. Because a lot of women just focus on the wrong things when they're younger and more in their prime. And by the time they really do figure out, okay, well, this is what I want the home, at that point, they're much older. And so they struggle a lot with that. I wish most for that. It is their God-given responsibility. And for men, that is very well. There is in the streets a blessing. Absolutely. Yes. A lot of men nowadays don't really take pride in being men nowadays. And I think some of them have gotten to the point where they were taken advantage of. Some of them don't really. I know a lot of men that they might have been providers and they were providers for gold diggers, and because that's what happened, they got the short end of the stick, and they end up having to pay a lot of child support or a lot of alimony, or the woman took half of everything he owned or most of everything that he owned, and so a lot of men have been kind of discouraged by that. But then there are some that just never have ever even tried to be a provider. Some of these men are very much so. The same way women are much more masculine now, there are a lot of men that are emasculated nowadays, and they just don't take pride in being men. And the confidence that comes with that, with being a man that is a provider. A lot of times men chase after women that realize, and if you actually just chase after your goals and things like that, the women are going to come naturally. They're going to want you if you are a provider anyway. So a lot of men tend to focus on the wrong things, but absolutely, men that are providers, they don't realize that all of the blessings
do,
that do come with that. Yeah.
do you think some women have abused the I always, this is what I've always said over the years, and most of the time there's a biblical, that most times women throw at men, says, oh, the Bible says you must be a provider, but I like to say that they didn't say, and the Bible didn't say the woman must be broke,
That the woman
because
must be brought.
I'm saying most of the times women say, "Oh, the Bible says." When women say to me that, "Oh, the Bible says the man must be a provider," and I said, "Yeah, that's what the Bible says," but also the same Bible didn't say that the woman must be broke, like
Broke.
not have, yeah, yeah, because I kind of feel like sitting with men and having conversations with men. I kind of feel like some women abuse the term provider, and they use it as, so they come in the space of, I want you to provide, but what they're looking is to be, go digging kind of arrangement. I don't know, that's what we see when we sit in a barbershop and discuss as men.
Yeah, the
What do you?
Bible doesn't say a woman should be broke. It does say a woman should be a man's helpmate, and you should help your man in whichever way you need to help your man. So if a helpmate means supporting him financially and you also working, or if a helpmate means you just being his assistant, or if a helpmate means you just being a homemaker, whatever that looks like in your relationship, in your marriage, it's going to be different, regardless, it's going to be different. It's not going to be the same for every relationship, but it does say be a helpmate. So if you're going to throw that out there, then make sure you add helpmate, make sure you add submissive, make sure you add all of that. If you're not going to mention that part, then don't mention don't mention the provider. you know.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
and time is time. I love how you put it. That's really powerful. Don't just talk about the provider part. You have to go the whole 9 yard.
Yeah. You
Talk
can't just
about the
pick and choose.
submission.
Yeah.
So don't just pick what is convenient. But how does a woman know that really this man is a provider? I know,
A
I
man,
know it's not part of our topic.
based off of him providing for himself. A lot of
Oh,
women
that's
go into it
powerful.
thinking a lot of women go into it thinking, well, if he can pay for my dates or if he can spend this much money on me, that means he's a provider. No. if he's taking care of himself, if he's paying his own bills, if he is making sure that he is working and he is making sure that he has his own transportation or at least can afford to get from point A to point B and things like that. If he is providing for himself, that lets you know. The same thing with a man. A man knows a woman is a homemaker based off of how she keeps her home, based off her if she cooks, does she clean, does she take care of herself, is she nurturing. That lets you know whether or not a person is qualified for a certain role or not. It's not based off of what he's doing for you in the beginning, because why should he provide for you? It's just dating for you. Just dating you. It doesn't make any sense. You know, it's based off of, you will know about how he's living his own life, what he's doing as a single man, how he is providing for himself. That lets you know.
So you ladies, you can't pick a man who's failing to take care of himself
Right.
and make him and allow him to make you a wife and still complain about him not being a provider. There's
That's
something
what
that
a
you're not
lot of
doing
ladies
right.
do. That is what a lot of ladies do. Yeah. And so, yeah, that's not going to work. You'll know based off. And that's what a lot of men shouldn't even try to be in relationships until until they're in a position to provide for themselves. If you can't do that, then you shouldn't be out here chasing women. You're looking at the wrong thing, you know? And a lot of women should not be trying to be in relationships with men if they don't know how to be homemakers, if they don't know how to be nurturing, if they don't know how to communicate, if they don't know how to
This is
bring
beautiful.
that peace and that positivity, if you can't cook, if you don't like to clean or anything, you need to get that straight for yourself first. And then
Yeah.
once you have embodied these things, then naturally you're going to attract a man that is a provider because you now have the qualities that he's looking for. And the same thing for a man that's on his purpose and that's focusing on being a provider for himself. Once you do that, naturally you're going to attract women that are seeking a provider. So yeah, that's something. What you do for yourself
Wow.
is what matters the most.
Whew, this is beautiful. Sorry guys, there's too many comments out here. It's let me see. Let me see this. That's a good that's a
Unfortunately,
what
more
would
and
you
more
say?
women
What would
are
you say?
providers, whilst the men
That's a
are
good
less.
that's a good observation.
Yes, they are. Yes, that is. It's kind of like a role reversal nowadays. There are a lot of women that are doing most of the providing, where a lot of men are kind of just. Some of them are choosing, like you said, being left behind. Some of them are just choosing to just stay single, and that makes a lot of women. They feel like there aren't enough men that they feel meet their standards. And so that's a whole nother conversation because then there are a lot of women that are like high earning and they're wondering why they can't find a good man because they put all their value in their money. So that's a whole different topic. The gold diggers put their value in their body, but then you have some women that put all their value in their money and then they think they can buy a man and they think that their money is
Woo!
stay with them. But the man is like, I don't care about your money. I want a feminine woman. So, yeah, but yeah, she is right, though. That is something that is the reality of the day. There is a huge role reversal nowadays. And so that is another reason why this information is important to try to get back to a place where a woman can make her own money, but still be in that feminine role. And her man can be a provider. He can feel more masculine, more competent, more dependable because a man feels better about himself when he's like that. When a man isn't able to be of service to anyone, he feels depressed, he feels insecure, he feels discouraged, he feels down, right? So,
True.
in order for both of us to be more at peace and things like that, we both need to get back into our original roles. And a lot of times, women that are high earning, they do tend to try to compete with men or throw in their face what a man can't do for them, or that they don't need a man, or disrespect men, or things like that. So, a woman should be able to. I think a woman should be able to make her own money, especially if generational wealth is something that's important to you and things like that. You have big goals as a family, financial freedom. However, a woman needs to know not to throw that in a man's face, and she knows that that's not what brings her the most value. A woman's feminine inner qualities are always going to be what's most valuable, not her possessions, not her looks.
Wow.
Wow.
That's I mean, that's really powerful. I mean, sitting here and listening to this wisdom, I'm really excited, honestly speaking. We gotta fly you to this motherland one day and let you
I would
just speak
love
to
that. Yes.
us. You know, just speak to us. Like we just need a whole week, like panel beat us, fix us, But a class like this, we need the men to sit in that class. A
Okay.
class like this, we need the men to sit in because I feel because when you love your wife, when you love your woman, there's just something about you that wants you to provide. You want to go an extra mile. You just want to, like if they don't have the best, you don't feel your best because you want the best for them. You always
Exactly.
want to go out there. You always want to I shared a story when I was growing up. I shared a story. I was doing a coaching in the UK. I was doing a masterclass in the UK virtual 2 weeks ago. And I shared. They asked me a question. What is it that you did during the time you were dating? Something unbelievable. I said I had to sell my shoes so that my girlfriend could have pocket money when she's going back to boarding school. you know I mean, there's just like I just didn't want to see that girl go back to boarding school and she's gonna struggle and not have what she really wants. So I mean, and now it's not that I was selling out of my abundance. I was selling out of just what I really really had. It wasn't that I
Right.
had, it's not that I had so much more in my closet that I was getting out of my excess. I was getting out of everything I had because love just wants you to go an extra mile as a man. You want to
Right.
make sure that this woman is taken care of. She has what she wants. So I don't see why you would be a man and not desire to provide for a woman that is a homemaker, a woman that is out there making sure, have you eaten, is everything going well for you?
Yeah.
I got you covered. What is it that I can do to help with your business? It's about staying up late and say, how can I help you? How can I save you with your business? Like, shouldn't you want to say, like, I also have a statement that I always say is the reason why I don't like side chicks is because I have one woman to spoil. Everything I have, like if she has two cars, can I add three more cars? Because she has proved that she's a homemaker. Than going to get a woman in the next town, go and get another woman in the next space. You have one amazing woman. Why don't you invest everything that you have? So it's a lot of mindset change that you've had. But honestly speaking, this class we need to redo it once again. This needs to be a whole class because we have a generation to take care of. And a lot of people will be offended. A lot of people will be triggered. But this is a class we must do over and over because we have a lot of people that we need to really, really save out here. And that's why I do all of these things. And thank you to you, for showing up and doing this. I'm looking forward to the masterclass over the weekend, and I'm looking forward for the course that is coming up again. So as we close and wind up, we land, guys. I'm sorry. I wish I could go through all the comments, but we're just running out of time. So, Mr. What are your closing words as we wind up and land this plane?
Ladies, just make sure that you are doing what you need to do for yourself. Stop focusing on what the man needs to do. The more you focus on that, the less effort you're going to be able to put into yourself. And the more you work on yourself as a woman, the more you work on your feminine qualities, the more you work on being the best homemaker you can be. Like you quoted the Bible earlier, and the Bible says, a man that findeth a wife, meaning he finds a woman that already has these wife qualities. The more you focus on that, then naturally, again, by default, you're going to attract great men that want to provide for you. Like you said, men that are going to want to go above and beyond to make sure you're happy, to make sure you have what you need. That just comes with good men. That's what you're going to attract when you're a great woman. But if you continue to complain and just focus on, what a man can buy for you, and you continue to just focus on trying to manipulate men to, spend extra money on you, and you know that you're not really pouring back into them, you're going to always be miserable. You're never going to really get what you want. You're always going to end up comparing yourself to other women and things like that. So make sure that you are just doing what you need to do for yourself. Stop focusing on a man's money. Focus on you being fulfilled as far as the protection you getting the provision, not just money, but the guidance that a man provides, and things like that. The commitment. These are things that you want to look for in a man, not just how much money he makes. Because another thing that Coach Eddie just said here is that he sold his shoes. A man that is a provider is going to give you his last. A lot of times, when you're a gold digger, you're going for a man that has a lot of money, but he's only going to give you a little teeny bit. A man that's a real provider, if this is all he has, he's going to give you most of what he has, even if that's it. A man that is going, if you're a gold digger, going for a man with a lot of money, he might have this much money, but you're going to get this. You know what I mean? So know the difference. You got to
Yeah.
know the difference. So yeah, that's it. Those are my closing thoughts. Just make sure you're taking care of yourself.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This has been amazing. So, hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for staying out here. Eta, Veronica, Nelly, Peza, so many of you guys to mention. Evaristo, the only man that managed to put a comment across. Linda and everybody, and every one of you guys, please, go do what you need to work on, and make sure you show up for these events, taking notes, and just begin to apply them to your life and see how your life, somebody's asking, Messi, good to see you. Yes, somebody's asking your page.
Yes, I have a Facebook page. It's Saralena, Saralena, and from there are links to my Facebook channels. I have 2 Facebook channels, and I also have a website, SaralenaCoaching.com, and there is lots of free information, femininity tips, and things like that on my website for the ladies if you want to go and look at that as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. We have to end. We've gone almost 12 minutes past our time, but this was really exciting. So, guys, thank you so much. And thank you so much. I'm looking forward to the masterclass and then also the course. And then definitely in the future, you need to touch down, in Wakanda. Honestly, I'm telling you, if I had my way, I would make it happen instantly because I feel this is what our generation needs, but we're going to make it in due season. We're going to make it happen because I feel we need to spread, this wisdom, and we need to save our generation because it's very, very key. We need to build for legacy, and our families needs to be stronger and better, so whatever it's going to take. Thank you so much for showing up. I really appreciate you coming. Have a wonderful afternoon. It's afternoon where you are. It's evening this side. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good evening. Bye.
Awesome. So, guys, thank you so much for staying on. Linda, I see you. Linda, you need to call me because you have no choice. Eta, you have no choice. You guys, all of you, Rose, you guys got to make it for the masterclass because this is for you. There's going to be just a lot of things that's going to be happening. And all of you guys that are here, the masterclass is open. Just call me. If you are here and you're attending this thing, if you need a payment plan, I'll give you a payment plan because I want you to get. Now, look at this information that's been given for free. Don't say I'm broke, coach, I don't have money. Just call me and talk to me nicely. We'll make a plan so that you make it, because a lot of you have been faithful. I see you on my page over and over. For me, it's not about the money. It's making sure that, we help you, and I'm not saying I'm going to give out stuff for free, but I'm just simply saying, if you need a plan, please send me a message, give me a call. Let's talk about it because I want to see you at the masterclass this weekend. And then after the masterclass, maybe first week of May, the first Saturday of May, we're going to have another one. That's going to be private. It's going to be a virtual one, but I want you to make it for this one, because that will help you just be more and do more. So, let's make it happen, guys. God bless you and have an amazing, amazing evening.